Hello, Sarah. Um, yeah, I'd like to get some more information, and I don't really know where to start. Um, about a guide and stuff. We talked a little bit yesterday. Um, I guess if you want to kind of give me your spiel on your sales pitch on how you like to do things, and uh, I will start to develop my questions and we'll kind of go from there. Or if you have, you've done this before, I had not. I guess this is me starting the conversation. I've started to write down a few questions, but I'll let you kind of give your little intro when you have time. And then once I get to that, then we'll just go from there. Anyway, hope you're having a great day. Thanks. Bye.
Good morning. Thank you for your message, Justin. It was nice to meet you on Sunday. I'm looking outside. It's crazy. It's just still snowing. What is going on? Okay, yeah. Here's my that's exactly right. I'll give you the way I do it, and then you start peppering me with any questions that you have or that I'm not being clear on. If we end up not being the right fit, let me know what you're after, and I'll see if I can't help you find a group or another person who does individual guiding, so that we can make sure we're on the same page. My job is to produce really good medicine, um, and enough medicine. I have had to deal with some people who are very resistant, and so I need to know if, how you take meds, if you respond to meds. Think of the dentist, or if you've done other psychedelics, how do you respond compared to other people? Do you need more than usual? It doesn't mean we'll start with more, but we will have it on hand and ready if we think you might be resistant. The other job is for me to keep you safe, to keep you warm, to keep you whole, to keep you and then to get out of the way. The medicine will do its work if we can just provide the right setting, if your mind is in the right place. And then, yeah, I have not ever seen a bad trip. What I have seen are unguided or underguided, meaning somebody's, it's getting, they're sitting or guiding and it's beyond their capabilities. So I feel like I have I know I have a lot of experience, but I always have a couple of people that are a phone call away that can help support if something comes up that is beyond my capabilities. I've had to make a phone call or two in the past, but I've never had to have anyone come over to help add additional support, but I have those people ready if needed. So that my job is to just do all the safety pieces of it, and so that you can feel safe and secure and ready to dive into so your brain can do the work. If you're distracted with not feeling safe, it's harder to let go. So that's why I do that. It's in your home or mind, or a hotel. You get to decide what feels best for you. Some people really want to be in their own homes. Some people really do not want to be in their own homes. So it's really each person's, what they want. I don't do any of the extras. No bells, no whistles, no eagle feathers, no drumming, no. I'm pretty simplistic. I suggest you bring an eye mask and some music, and we'll talk a little bit more about the music. But as you take the medicine, I have you just kind of lay down. If you're here at my house, you're on the couch, big, beautiful windows next to you. And, and then after, 30 minutes or so, I come in and I tap your shoulder, tap your leg. And if you give me a thumbs up, it means leave me alone. I'm good. I have some people, well, about half of my clients at about the 40-minute mark, they rip off their mask, pull out their earphones, and they want to talk, or, they're processing a different way. My 50% who keep the mask on, the earphones in for a while, they're the ones that generally go deeper. The ones who are fighting it, it's not a true fight, so that's the wrong word. The ones who want to talk, sometimes they use that as a distraction. So I do try and get you back into some of that space, but I don't truly think you need a mask the whole time. When I've done it with a mask, I keep my mask on for 40 minutes, for an hour or so, and then the mask might come off, but I still stay in that mental space without the mask staying on. That'll be up to you. You can bring your own mask. You can use mine, whatever you want. We will start with a large dose. I like to do 5 grams out of the gate, a hero's dose. If you're doing 2 to 3 grams, and if you haven't had much experience, that's one of my questions for you. How much experience have you had doing this? Because that could change things. For people when they're coming for the first time, I find that 1, 2, 3 grams, that's kind of an amount you take if you want to move outward, and kind of experience nature or a party or, a group, or the outward, you do a smaller amount. If you really want to do inward work, I do that 5 grams or more. So that is where I start. If that feels right to you, it sounds like we maybe get it close to the same page. It's a day session. I like to do it during the day. So we start 9, 10, 11, noon at the latest. It usually takes 5 to 7 hours. So, it's nice. I find that if you treat it like a 3-day session, just try the day before some people have to work, of course. So, but try to lower a lot of major responsibilities, don't have major meetings, major, super big negotiations. You want to get your head into a better space as you're moving into it the day or two before. The day of, you're going to come having eaten a light meal. We'll get you started. And then that night, it's kind of nice to go home, to be in your, have, if you have a partner, your partner's there, or you're with your family, or maybe you're alone, but you have some things planned. Maybe it's, Netflix. You have a few comfort items ready, because it's a lot of emotion. You feel all the emotions. And so you want to even if you have to do a little emotional eating, have your favorite ice cream on hand, or some food in a crock pot, something so that it feels good. You're not going to want a ton of food, but you're not going to want to have to think about ordering either. So, if you like something, you want it ordered, maybe even order it in advance before the session begins, and so it arrives later that night. You can kind of decide that. I'm just giving you ideas. There's not a right or wrong way to do this. So if what I'm saying doesn't quite fit, or our vibe doesn't quite fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means, no, you're looking for something a little different. That is okay. Just like with a therapist, you can put filters on. I want someone my age. I want a male or female. I want someone who's had this kind of background or deals with specific kind of traumas. You can feel the same way about a guide. And so you can decide if I'm ticking enough of your boxes. Okay, we talked price. Group sessions, since we talked price, group sessions do exist that are generally cheaper. Just know that, and I can help you find some. Downtime. Oh, I started to say that. So then your third day, you really, I think a huge part of the hangover on some of these psychedelics is losing sleep, because you start at, 6 at night or 9 at night, and it keeps you up all night. Then you're exhausted for 2 or 3 days. I don't do that. Since we do it during the daytime, it feels like a really deep, difficult, therapy session. But those are some of the best, right? Because you're really dealing with stuff. So you're feeling all the emotions. And so plan on that. So how much time the next day do you need? Lots of people can go back to work, but again, And you can have intensity both the day before and after. It's just kind of nicer if you can soften that a little, and get into your head, it can play with you. So again, doesn't need perfect, just kind of some of that. So yeah, you should be fine the next day. But you can decide, how that feels. So that might determine what day of the week you want to do it. I'm available 7 days a week, depending on what you want. Okay, that's my initial spiel. Let me know how all of that sounds. I did ask a question or two in there, and then I'm happy to hear any of your questions, and then we can decide how to move forward. All right. Thanks, Justin. Let's talk soon.
Okay, it was recording. I didn't know it was recording. I haven't used this app in a while. I'm just gonna leave this here. So that was perfect. You had me cracking up about a couple things. I can't even remember what, but there are, yeah. I like what you're saying. So far, I like. Yeah. So I guess what I'm looking for is, and I mentioned this on Sunday a little bit, but just someone who is, I don't know, normal. What is normal? Someone who is a professional who's just in life and I grew up in Oregon. I like hippies, but I don't want a hippie guiding me. And the feathers thing, I was cracking up about that. I was cracking up on Tuesday when you did the talk at the Mushroom Society thing. And talked about your husband. And he's like, I want everything. And I've had everything before, so to speak, and I'll talk about those. But and those are cool, but I don't need those. So I'm impressed with you just as a person. My schedule wise, I live alone, and I work from home. I have my own little small business, so my schedule is pretty flexible. I can have Sunday to kind of prepare myself mentally, physically, eat food wise, whatever. And then Monday we could do it during the day, and I'm fine with morning times. So yeah, do it on a Monday, and then I'd have a Tuesday, Wednesday to just kind of sit with it and be in it, and then just kind of enjoy the after effects of it all. So, and then I'd probably end up scheduling a therapy session on like that Wednesday or something as well, to discuss it. And I've already talked with my therapist yesterday, that this is kind of the plan, and she's not a partaker, but she does have knowledge of it. But I'm, yeah. So anyway. Let's see. How do I respond to meds? I'm usually pretty normal with meds. I've taken MDMA 5, 6 times, something like that. I'm also not a shy or bashful person, if you can't tell already. So, and especially about me. So if there's anything you want to know, just ask. Just come see your space beforehand, if that's okay. Just to kind of familiarize myself with it. I do have a nice pair of headphones. Like I mentioned, I used to mix audio. I love sound. Sound is my music and sound. The music's great, but it's got to sound good. So, I do have a nice pair of headphones that I could bring. Or I do have my home theater set up here as well. But the downside to that, and I won't get into that. I'll think about that, and let you know on that. Or have specific questions, please do ask. Day session sounds great. Lower responsibilities before and after. Yeah, so the best experience I've had with psychedelics was my very first MDMA trip. It was with a friend, the very close friend of mine, and his girlfriend at the time. She was just there, but he was the great experience. He had a lot of experience with it and knew how to kind of just take you on in some pretty neat places, and it was really a really cool experience. And afterwards, for about 2 or 3 days afterwards, I mean, everything was still very bright and colorful and happy, and I just felt amazing, and just like a new refreshed person. It was a very good experience. That was my best one. But I am very much a fan of I can move my schedule around and lower my responsibilities for the week that this would be happening. Um, because again, I want this to be a growth experience. I have my snacks ready to go and a plethora, nice variety of snacks. So, and I've got my music and my little setup and everything. So I think that covers what you said. I really don't know if I asked any questions yet, but yeah, let's go from here. Thanks.
Hey, Justin, I am sorry I did not respond. I saw your video. I was not. I actually watched your video when I was getting ready for the day, so I didn't want to respond to you, not dressed. And then I forgot to. I was thinking today, looking at my calendar, and I am okay with the 3rd. That's my point. So yes, the 3rd works for me. If that works for you, I have you penciled in. If we need to change again, let me know, but I'm planning on it. And so you can start preparing for it as well. I will likely send another video or 2 to prep to make sure we're, since it's been a minute, just make sure we're continuously on the same page. I'm sure it'll be you just going, yep, 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 yep. But just to make sure. And, but I won't do it. We'll do it as we get closer. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks. Hey, one other thing, as we get closer, since we're zeroing in on a date, I have been, occasionally people ask to shadow me during a event, during a session to, learn how to do it. And, so I always ask if that's something you'd be open to. The 2 people that are asking me are both women. I won't bring them both. It would just be one. But I would have them interfacing with you, interacting with you. Some people are not comfortable with that. Completely understand. It's your space. You are the lead. We are doing everything to support you. So if you're okay with that, then I will reach out to them and see if either is available for July 3. If not, then it'd just be me and you. But if you're open to it and they are available, I may invite one. Let me know how you feel. Truly no judgment. It's let me know how you feel about that. Sit on it if you need to and think about it, and then let me know. Thanks.
Hello. Oh wait, this might not be. Yeah, hopefully it's recording. We'll find out. Sounds good. I have the 3rd marked down on my calendar. My therapist is going to be out of town that week, so I wouldn't be able to see her until the following week, but I think that'll be okay. I've got lots of self-help tools that I'm doing myself, so I just found that out today, but I don't think that'll be a big issue. So plus I plan on going to TDA as well the following week and participating in integration there, and I've got several friends who know about this and want to hear about it and talk about it afterwards and everything too. So planning a whole bunch of integration work afterwards. So as far as someone shadowing, as of right now, my first reaction is no. Let me think about it. I might be okay with that. Yeah, I'll think about that and kind of get back to you. Yeah, I can see that being just fine, but it just kind of makes me feel a little weird just at first thought. But that might just be because it's the first thought. So, yeah, I'll let you know. Still good for the 3rd, of course. Still good with having someone shadow you. I may prefer you, or I may prefer them. I have no idea if I feel that need to share some to or that need to do that. I'll let you know during. Um, Odds are I probably won't give a shit. It'd probably just be nice having two people there than one. Um, yeah. So, intention is, if I can remember it, uh, try to say it every day so I don't have moments like this. Um, Let go of control, be curious, not afraid, and go where it feels good. Um, that's just kind of it. I've just been, very, very excited. Like if it was happening today, I would have been thrilled. Um, but sticking to the plan. So it's very close. Yeah, the fear is gone. Like now my fear is just like nausea. That's one of my questions. Um, Usually before I take LSD, I don't remember what I did before mushrooms, probably something similar, but I'll have a very light breakfast that's some carbs like a waffle and maybe an egg. Um, I've read other things. Do you have any recommendations, suggestions? Um, I've never thrown up before with LSD and mushrooms, but I assume the nausea is worse with more. Is that correct or is that false? Yeah. Anyway, I know also as I love how my mind remembers psychedelic experiences, and when I talk about them, I sometimes get the symptoms like right all of a sudden now my stomach's kind of grumbling and getting a little pissed off at me. it's it's nuts. The mind is so powerful. Anyway, okay, so there's that where I'm at, intention, nausea, 8 a.m. I think is a good start time. Let me know what you think about that. We don't need to do 7. It's it's not necessary. So 8 I think is good. Gives me a chance to get up early, do my writing, get a shower, get some food, get over there. So I will need the address at some point. I just thought of that. And no rush. But yeah, I do need to know where I'm going before Monday. Oh, what strain will I be taking? So that I'm curious about that. Or do you know? I assume you know. But anyway, yeah, what strain? That's it. Okay. Thank you very much. I look forward to speaking with you, and I'm very excited for the 3rd. It's just it's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be what it is. It's gonna be great.
Morning. I am looking forward to the 3rd as well. I'm getting ready. I'm in a good mental place. I have reached out to both of my people to talk about having them shadow me, and neither has confirmed. They're both just looking at calendars, and partly that just happened the last day or so since after revival. So that's partly my fault. I forgot you asked about breakfast that morning. Yeah, you want to do something light. You're exactly right. You want to do something light. Maybe everything you said is right. Some yogurt, an egg, a little toast, something. You don't want anything heavy. I think we've talked about meds. You should be, and I think we didn't have any contraindicators. Remind me of that. Remind me of meds that you're on to make sure we're doing that. I think you've been microdosing, so you should be stopping by now, so that you have time for it to clear out of your body a little bit. We will be taking 5 grams, and I'll have some extra in case we need to boost. So just know that. Felt like there was one more thing. I'll get to it. Stop yelling at me. Oh, lemon tech, being nauseous. So the way I prepare things is I do lemon tech, and you can look that up. Lemon TEK. But it's super simple. I take the mushrooms, I cover them in lemon juice, fresh lemon juice or lime juice, and I let them sit and steep, and then we strain out the mushrooms. And so all of the um, psychedelic properties are then in the juice, because lemons and limes, the acidity, it matches the human stomach. And so it starts to break down those mushrooms, pulling out those psychedelic properties. And then I strain out this stuff that makes us nauseous, which is all the fiber that is the mushroom. So I strain that out, and all you drink is a shot of lemon juice. And we could make it a tea, we could make it lemonade, or even just take a straight shot. Different people like different things. And I never see nausea. Sometimes a hint of it when our bodies are like, wait, we know this feeling, we should be nauseous. But it's so minor compared to what it is when people feel it. And most people don't feel anything at all. They go, oh, their body's saying, great, this will take it this way. So I do that. So you shouldn't have to worry about nausea, especially since you've done it before and you feel nauseous, but you haven't been sick. My guess is, this is going to be an easy way for your body to take it in. So lemon tech. I think I've answered now all your questions. I'm excited. And yeah, I'm thinking about things, but I've gone through the past Marco Polos. I think I know just about everything. All my questions from you have been answered. I think I've answered all of your questions. Other than getting you my address, I think we're getting close. We're set. So, get through the week, enjoy the weekend, and I will see you. And I know we've said the 3rd. I'm flexible. So you're saying, oh, today would have been a great day. If you want to move it up to Thursday or Friday, I guess Thursday's tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing magical about next Monday. That was just the best day for you. So I'm pretty flexible the next few days. So you decide. Let me know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm planning on Monday unless I hear different from you. But hi, good morning, Justin. It is Friday, and I'm going to see you on Monday, so we're just days away. I heard from one of the people who wants to shadow, and she is available. She's willing to be here at 8 a.m. on Monday morning. So if you are still good with that, her name is Kat Allred, and I really like her. She's probably age-wise between you and me. I think she's mid 40s is my guess. Well, mid to late 40s. She's an interesting woman. I really, really like her. She's she's just really interesting. The differences in a way that I'm practical. She's a little more spiritual, which I like. It's a nice compliment to me. She is way more physical, and I can do physical touch. I mean, I know that's something you asked. She's really super comfortable with all of that. So that's interesting. It's just a point that I know is true. She is really wanting to move into the space. She's guided a couple of times, but she wants to sit and just shadow. So she'll be participating. Kat and I will get you started here in the living room that I show you. And then we will make ourselves scarce. We'll move back into the bedroom. If we want to be together, probably sit in my bedroom. If we both have our own things to work on, I may go into my daughter's bedroom. Kat can stay in mine, whatever. We'll figure that out. But we're out of your space is the point. Then we'll come in as we talked to before, every 30 minutes or so, checking on you. And we'll see where we are. So, if you're still good with that, she's planning on it. I'm planning on it. And that's the news. I think that's it. I really am excited. Oh, you wanted to know, yeah, again, I haven't talked to Steve yet. I told you Taj Mahal is likely the mushroom I'm going to use, but I think I told you I might mix it with something. So I'll have that conversation with him today and let you know. For sure, it's not a secret. I want to make that clear. I'm just not completely, I haven't settled on anything yet. So I will make it clear to you that day. And then, of course, after, once we know what you have taken, I'll make note of it and then make sure that you have access to that. So you can circle back to me after if we forget to take notes that morning, or you lose, you can't remember what I tell you that day. I'll tell you after, right? It's certainly not a secret. Okay, I think that's it. See you Monday.
Hello. So I wanted to share a few things. I kept saying to um, my close friends, again, I don't feel like this was a life-changing event, but I feel like it's going to end up being life-changing. Um, because I didn't come out of it and be, I didn't see God which I was a little worried about. I think I told you once. Now that I don't believe in God, I was like, oh no. And that fear went away, but it was still like a little bit there. Yeah, I didn't come out, just obviously changed, but I just reread my writing I do morning pages, and I just reread that from the following day from yesterday, which it does feel like it's been about 4 or 5 days at least. So there's that distorted sense of time still there. But I was rereading it, and it is life changing. It's like I am no longer motivated by fear, and I have been for a very long time. I've journaled about. I think it's in one of my affirmations. It's just like, if it's uncomfortable or you're afraid of it, then that's why you should go do it. Which has helped me. But now, like, that's not the motivator anymore, and I find myself being fairly lazy these last 2 days. Um, yeah, and I think it's because I don't know what to do now that my motivation is completely different. So, yeah, it's wild how it seems so subtle on the outside. Like, I'm not going to be very different to people around me. Um, People that know me well will probably see some differences, but just, everyday people, no, they're not going to notice that change in me, but I'm going to notice. It's that peace that stuck in my head when I said, I just feel neutral. And you said, that's peace. I was like, that is peace. And that's how I feel. I feel very peaceful. In so many ways. So many ways. And I went out in public wearing a tank top today. I haven't done that since I was probably 14. I don't know. I loved it. It was wonderful. Anyway, it's just my motivation is totally different. I don't even know what it is. It's just different. I got to figure it out. Anyway, so, and then a couple notes on just the actual trip itself. I was reading, I never felt unsafe, or scared even. But I felt very comfortable, and having you and Kat there, especially you, I knew, like, because we've been talking, and I knew I could call out to you. It was just so reassuring, and just made me feel very vulnerable and safe. Like I could be vulnerable, which is good, and it helped me a lot. So thank you for that, and the fact too that I could ask the silliest stupid things, like hold my left foot. It was driving me bonkers. There was an itch on the bottom of it, And I've had it before when I've taken LSD. Um, and it was so bad. And sorry if it was you, because I'm sure my feet were sweaty. Probably not too stinky, but sweaty. And yeah, but it made it go away. And and then when whoever let go, it came right back, but I was able to just shush it away. It was weird. Um, I also didn't feel the crazy distortion of time like I usually do. You know, where I'd be like, "Oh my God, how long has it been?" And I think it's because my eyes were closed. I was internal. I wasn't looking external at all. Even when I took the mask, put the mask up, I kept my eyes closed the entire time. Once I dropped in, like I couldn't. Usually, I can put it, a number on it. Like it felt like it was months or something like that. I cannot at all. Um, And I think a lot of that has to do with just keeping my eyes closed, having someone there to it just helped ground me. I didn't need the rock. Having you there was all I needed. Um, yeah, just, whew, man, nothing like what I expected at all. Nothing. And yeah. So anyway, but the time thing, yeah, I don't know about that. I think the music also helped because when I was in there, it was albums. So songs that just flowed together until the album was over. And yeah, and I think that helped a lot too. So anyway, those just a few thoughts on this. And thank you again so much. It's life changing. It really is. And it doesn't, it's not in an obvious way. It's just, it's life changing. So yeah, I'm thrilled. Thank you very much. This was wonderful. Just a few thoughts on it. So, and the talking afterwards was just, mwah, it was divine. That was wonderful. That helped so much. So, because I went home and I wrote a little bit, just a couple paragraphs, just from memory, and then I got some food and I was starving, and then I wrote some more afterwards after reading your notes, and I was able to pin stuff together a lot better. So anyway, have a lovely evening or day whenever you read this.
Hey, Justin. It sounds like your last couple of days have been good. Um, yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're exactly on track. You're being introspective, doing some journaling, getting ready, and you are not alone to be on that cusp of, was this life changing? Maybe it wasn't life changing. And you have been getting some, just because I was there, I know you received some major insights. The question is, what are you going to do with it? So that's all the integration part. So I love that you're journaling. I know you're going to meet with your counselor soon. You have other people to talk to. Really start to, part of what you want to do with your therapist is, or counselor, is start to break down the major insights into small steps. You know, you wanted to do something uh, with your son a little bit differently. So what does that look like? What to achieve the ends that and the insight you received about him, what are small things you can do? What are things you can start to do in your daily life? What are things you can do to help him and, support him and give him um and make the changes around him that you need to make. And then apply that same practice to the other insights you received. Um the other element of this, and this will be down the road, but even put a tickler in your phone if you want, every couple of months, circle or once a month, circle back to these insights, read them. What you'll start to see, oh, I've started to take some steps. Am I taking enough? Have I forgotten? Or am I slipping back into my old patterns? And, if you're willing to do that work and do the discipline of that, you will start to see major life changes. So, congrats. Again, it was awesome to do that with you. Feel free to keep messages coming. I'd love to hear about any updates.
Hello. So, I don't remember everything that I said already, but I do remember right after I sent you that polo, uh, I started just kind of like just voice journaling on here and on my phone, and I I'm seeing just so many ways that um these lessons that I learned are applying, and where I'm not motivated by fear anymore, and where the fear was before, and why it's not it, and not necessarily why it's not here anymore, but just like it's just not. It's almost like it just didn't exist, but I can see how it did in the past and why it did, and what I was afraid of. I can see that very, very clearly, but that it's just gone. It's kind of mind-blowing. So that's huge. Uh Realizing that I was motivated by fear and that I am no longer is huge. I mean, I'm seeing all these things that I wanted to do or thought I wanted to do, and why the fear was standing in the way, and now it's not there, and instead it's just like, well, what do I do now? Like I can take these first steps to do them. It's incredible. Even small things like going hiking. I'm gonna take my kids up into the mountains tomorrow, going with a friend and his kids. And we're gonna go to some place I've never been. I mean, I haven't been out in a long time, but and normally I would just have to prepare for that mentally, plan for it, literally. And I was talking to him today. He's like, well, where do you want to go? Here's these two spots. And I'm like, I don't care. Wherever you want. I'm up for anything. Like, there's no fear associated with it. Whereas before there was just little fears that seem pointless now, but they weren't. They were there for a reason. Whew. So I have Sunday or Monday, I'm going to reread my entries, journal entries that I made, both the day of, before and after, and this week. Also re-listen to the voice memos I've left myself, and really dive into next steps. Like what do I want to do with this information? So I'm really excited for that. And then on Wednesday, I see my therapist. I wish it was sooner, but that's all right. I've got tools. I'm a wise lad. So there's so much going on in my mind. It is absolutely incredible. And I just feel I feel very peaceful. Yeah. And very organized about it all too. So, anywho, hope you're having a lovely evening or day or whenever you listen to this. Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Hey, good evening. I am all hyped up, and then I went to my deepest regret, not having the same bond with my son that I do my daughter. It shows. And not to anyone else, but to me, I know it is. It shows, and I don't need to have the same bond with him, but I want to have the same level of bond. And then I learned to love myself, and then I started to see what my potential is and my love is, and that I want to share that with the world in some way. And I've, instead of holding it in, and I've been talking to anyone that will listen about this. And I have gotten a lot of very positive feedback. Not just anyone. I'm not crazy. Uh, just rambling on the streets to strangers. Um, yeah. Wow. Just amazing. Um, and then last thing, I had a thought. An analogy. You built this art supply store, and I showed up. I earned the money and went and bought art supplies and left and went and created. And um like I'm doing the work, and I'm acknowledging that, but you had to build the store. Um and it's been just, thank you so much. This is unreal. And this is what, 11 days after. Integration is important. Yeah, kind of a big deal. All right, people. Okay, I had to share in the moment. Thank you again. Just wow. So many things to share, but this is the big one, and I wanted to, yeah. Anyway, I plan on being there on Sunday to TDA. I want to share with more people. Last week I was gonna go, and I got invited to go to a lake last minute, and I went. I haven't done something that spontaneous into crowds of people in a long time, and it was one of the best days I've had in a very, very long time. It was fucking great. It was wonderful. Someone thanked me for making their day better. Like, who does that? That was the nicest compliment I've ever. I was just being I was being a Chandler. Oh my heavens. Heavens to Betsy. Okay, have a good night or day or morning or afternoon or whatever it is. So, bye-bye.
Holy cow. That report brought me to tears. Um so many important things. You are doing the work, and I love that your attitude of, you're in the midst of it, right? It's not you're at the start, that this can go forever. And the other thing is, the reason and I don't know if I've told you this before, but I'm amazed how many times between me and Steve, we will get some kind of insight during a journey that never really resolves. It just sits there. It's in my notes or in our conversation. And then 2 years later, I'm in another journey, and whoa, I say something, I have this realization, and Steve will say, wait, do you remember you talked about that 2 years ago? Or I do the same for him. Or I'll say, wait, go back in the notes. And wasn't there something about this before? And it's amazing to me how those things can continue to build on themselves when you're really doing deep integration. So I'm really excited for you. And I'm really excited for you obviously love him. I mean, and I'm sure you show him love as a father, but he's 3, so he may never know this, but he would have grown up knowing his connection to you wasn't as deep. And I'm really excited for both of you that you're going to be able to have that with him. So good for you on that, Fred. Me helping connect those dots built a little bridge that you can sail across, and I'm using too many metaphors. Sail, you don't sail across a bridge, but um that you could move across and it didn't keep you stuck in that spot while you figured out, oh, I have to make friends with my anxiety. I don't, like I said, I don't often do that. I do it with Steve a lot, but I don't. So I felt comfortable. I knew it was a little presumptuous because I don't know you that well, but it sure felt right. And when you responded like you did, I'm like, oh, this is something. So, thank you for allowing me to do that. And it wouldn't have hurt my feelings if you'd said, no, that's not right. And okay, okay. But I'm glad it did resonate and that it's been so good for you. Thank you for your updates. Continue them as long as you want. I really enjoy them. I'm so happy you went to the lake last week. I just think those little things, when we stop doing them, then our world starts getting smaller and smaller. When we allow those things to happen, all those things added up, that's a life well lived. So good for you to do that. I love it. Church is there every Sunday. You'll get there when you get there. If you're there tomorrow, I won't be. My brother and sister-in-law are coming to town with their kids. I'm going to be with them. But I would love to see you sometime soon. And I just wish you the best. I'm so happy. And I know I've said it before, but I'm really honored to have been a part of this. So there you go. All right. Bye, Justin.
Hi. Your tearing up is making me tear up. I'm so, like, I'm so happy that that my experience and this is making you happy. God, absolutely incredible. So I want to add just a couple of things. So when I went to the lake, like, the with Jamie, you met her once. She was at the Mushroom Society meeting. I went with her and her friend's roommate. Her friend's Spanish from Spain, and her friend's roommate is Peruvian. And his English is passable. Hers is pretty good, but yeah, I served a mission in Argentina, so one of the probably the best thing I took away from the mission, besides I came out of my shell then, but anyway, was I learned how to speak the language like a native. I got asked the last 2/3 of my mission if I was from Buenos Aires, and I was very proud of that. And I lost it, of course. I don't practice it that often anymore, and it's been, Jesus Christ, 20 years. So it was, I've been very apprehensive to speak Spanish around Spanish speaking people. And I didn't even think about it. I just talked a mix of Spanish and English with them. Like it was natural. Oh my, and I didn't realize that until the next morning. And I was just, when I was writing, I'm like, holy shit. There was no fear about what my accent would sound like if I was going to say a word incorrectly. I was asking her constantly, like, hey, como se, like, how do you say for certain words? And then like we got into a conversation where I was able to teach her some English phrases. Anyway, I just, no fear. It came out naturally. It came out it just came out. I didn't even have to think about it. I wanted to communicate with these people. I wanted to communicate with them in the way that they might understand the best, right? I didn't want to communicate with my way. If I had a way to communicate with them better, I wanted to try and use it. And I did, and it was amazing. Oh, God damn. That was a great, the whole experience was incredible. Anyway, I am so excited for this. So it's already just there, and I'm taking advantage of it. Holy schmoly. There's one other thing. You got lost in your metaphor. I was dying laughing. Um, yeah, just thank you so much. For I know I'm going to be thanking you for a really long time, and not in the way like I owe you. Because I mean I do, but I don't. But I do. I just it's thank you. This is just right from the start. I was like, I feel comfortable with this person. Feel like I don't know. Yeah, there was an energy there. We'll see you when we see you. I'm sure it'll be sooner than we think.
Hey, Justin. It's now been 3 weeks since your journey. Um, just checking in again. I know the first 72 hours can be pretty intense, and then the 2 weeks following. That's a really important time to be experimenting with what's going to work and what's not going to work. As far as implementing some of these lessons into your life, which talking to you last Sunday sounds like you are on it. You're kind of the chickadee with, going off to fly. There's not much more I can do for you at this point other than just touch base a time or two. So know that I'm here, know that I'm available. If you need a conversation, if there's something you think I can do that other people can't, fine. Please reach out. But I'm uh I'm just curious. Just I hope things continue to be good for you. And um, I'm sure we will continue to see each other. We'll have this contact, but I just wish the nothing but good for you and your family. And as you figure all this out, I'm impressed with you, and I feel grateful to have been part of your experience. Thanks, Justin.